Lee and I go back to Grace Under Fire. In fact, Bob Meyer is the reason I know Lee. Bob had done a show of his own called Joe's Life. When I was starting Grace Under Fire, and Joe's Life got canceled, and Bob called me and said, I got a guy on this show who might be helpful to you. He's a bit of a handful, but so are you. You might want to give him a try. So I brought Lee on for the second half of the season on Grace. And so that's when we first met. And he worked with me on Sybil. And he was actually, part of the wonderful volatility at the end when I got fired. She wanted me to fire him first because he had said some snotty things that got back to her. And I said, he works for me. You can't fire him. It's not appropriate. So she fired both of us. So, so much for the higher moral ground. You can't fire him. Oh, we're both fired. So he and I parted ways. He did not work on Dharma, and then when I went to work at Warner Brothers, he was looking to do something, and he hadn't worked in a while, and he was looking to keep his health insurance going at the Writers Guild, and I know something about health insurance, and he wanted to pursue this project that was bubbling around with the Tannenbaums about brothers, and in order to keep his insurance intact. And it had some fits and starts, and then ultimately we sat down and figured it out, and we wrote it together. And we presented the idea to CBS, and they said, it's a cool idea. Who would you see in the lead? And I went, well, it's kind of a Charlie Sheen kind of character. And Wendy Trilling said, can you get Charlie Sheen? I said, I don't know. We can try. And we got to sit in a room with Charlie and his representatives a few days later, and we pitched him the idea. We didn't have a script. We just had the idea. Decadent, wealthy playboy takes in, divorced brother with child. And he said, I don't know, I can't make a decision without seeing a script. So Lee and I sat down in a room for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, and wrote a script. And realized that we'd run out of story by the act break. So we introduced the mom, Holland Taylor's character. And it all came amazingly together. And we sent it to Charlie on a Friday, and on Monday he called us and said, I'm in. At which point it went from being, this kind of silly idea that had no future whatsoever other than a way to keep a guy's health insurance intact to we're coming up on the 200th episode in a few weeks. Just staggering.